Hello, everybody. We are coming to you live from Investing Education Academy. If you are just seeing us, it's a great time to actually share this conversation. So today we're going to do a little bit of talk about options. In particular, you want to tell them the topic, Leon?
Yeah, the topic is so we're gonna talk about options in kind of in general, but we're gonna focus in on the a particular aspect of options called the Greeks, and then we're gonna drill a little deeper and actually talk about one in particular that's called theta.
Yeah.
And
So,
go ahead.
no, for everybody who is like the Greeks, who are they? Some of you all may be out there in the Divine Nine thinking a whole different type of Greeks. That's not it. Some of you all may be watching thinking, do you mean like Roman times? That's not it. So we're going to talk about the Greeks as it relates to options trading. Many of you all have access to do options trading trainings. That's kind of hard to say fast. So this is if you are an IEA member. Leon did an IEA options training on Saturday, which was options trading 101. So if you're thinking from today, once you hear it, you're like, you know what? I've always wanted to know more about options. I really do want to get involved. I've been talking about joining you all for a while now. I've been listening to you. This is your moment. If you have questions about options, actually, questions are coming in already. All right.
What you got?
Oh,
I know you.
we know Greek now with COVID. So let me play. We have a feature here. Let me see if I can do it right. That was the comment
From Facebook. Okay.
Yeah. So if you all have comments now, we can actually show your comments during the live. If you listen to the podcast, we'll read them for you. So with that being said, Leon, if you can tell them why we chose the topic while I do housekeeping.
Yeah. So Brent said, so inside the membership platform or our membership community, we have something called Ask an Expert, and what that is, we bring on experts in different fields around investing. This past Saturday, we do it the first Saturday of every month. This past Saturday, I was the expert on my birthday. I might add you. That shows my dedication. I was the expert, and what I covered was basically intro to options.
And what that is, we bring on.
And the reason I did that, the reason we covered options, is because this options is the number one topic we get asked about all the time. And one thing I did something a little different. I did something that most people won't do, right? So if you search online for options,
Wait. Yeah, you're not gonna tell them what you gave away during the training, are you? Because that was for the members.
No. I'm not gonna go that deep. I'm just gonna tell them what I did. Yeah. So what I did was I essentially told why options are in some ways bad investments, right? So everyone thinks that when you search online for options, it talks about how you're gonna make $1 million, you're gonna become rich overnight, yada yada yada. Well, I went into a really deep discussion, and I actually showed examples on why when you buy options with what are called naked options, they're just bad investments, right? And 99% of the way individual investors like us buy options is we buy them naked. And we're gonna if you can pull up the slide, Brent, when you get a chance.
Yep.
When we pull up the slide, we'll kind of go into what naked options actually means. It doesn't mean anything, bedroomish. It just means the option. So what do you mean by naked option is that the two primary ways you can buy options. One is called a spread, right? And a spread is when you buy one option and then you sell another option against it. So those options are spread. There's a distance between there's a spread in between the two. Those are called spreads. The other way is when you buy an option naked, is when you buy the option but you do not sell another option against it. It's just by itself. So that's why it's called naked. And like I said, 99% of the way retail investors like us, we do that. We buy options naked. Well, the problem with that is it's a terrible way to invest in options because it's basically you're set up to fail if you buy options naked. Now, can people make money buying options naked? Of course, they do it all the time. But the probability of success when you buy options naked is very, very, very low. We have people inside the IA membership who I've talked to directly quite a few times, in conversation, where they've experienced basically what I'm gonna go through today when we talk about this option characteristic called theta. and it's where it just totally obliterates your money. So so if you're ever interested in options, this is a good one, because we're going to talk about a specific characteristic of options that you have to be aware of if you're going to buy options naked. I don't recommend it, but if you're going to, you have to be aware of this particular characteristic. So Brett, can you zoom out one?
Yep.
Just one more. Yeah. Or zoom in one more. I think you went out both.
That's it.
Okay. All right. So as I said, naked. So we'll go through the slide now. We have 5 bullets here. We're going to run through them. So first point is, what is a naked option? So it's, like I said, a naked option is where you buy the option by itself. You do not sell another option against it. When you sell another option against it, that's called an option spread. And there are a million ways you can kind of flip option spreads to have it work for you, but we're definitely not going into that today. That's a whole other discussion. But the other way to do that is buying naked. As I said, buying naked is when you do not sell another option against it. It's just you buy it by itself. In the word of options, is called buying it naked.
And Leon, real quick.
Brent, real quick.
Yeah, real quick, Leon. We just had somebody ask a question,
and
it's related to the information that's going to go out. So I just want to answer it. The question is, can we add people to the group, or do they need to be invited? You can invite people to the group, but they have to accept the invitation. So if you want to invite anybody to watch this live right now, or if you want to invite anybody to listen to our podcast later, you can do so just by sharing the link or letting them know, tagging them in the comments, and they'll show up.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So as I said, so one way is spreads. We're not covering that. We're covering options when they're naked, and naked just means you're buying it by itself. So when you buy a naked option, as I said earlier, when I say the term Greeks, we're not talking about like Roman Greeks. We're not talking about Greeks as in fraternities. I'm not exactly sure why these are called Greeks. Well, I do, because I think that they're basically using Greek numbers. If I'm delta, so they're like use like delta, theta, rho, things like that.
Yeah.
So those are Greek. I guess Greek letters or numbers. That's why they're called the Greeks. So the one we're going to cover today is theta. And when buying options naked, you want to be very, very, very keenly aware of what the theta Greek is. And the theta, and when we say Greek, it's just a characteristic. What it's going to tell you is how much money the theta Greek is going to tell you how much money you're going to lose per day in value in that option. Now think about that. You're investing in an asset that you know up front you're going to lose money pretty quickly once you get into the option. So from my perspective, that is not a way I want to invest my money, knowing up front that I'm going to lose money pretty quickly once I get into the investment. So this is why I'm not a fan of buying options naked, but a lot of people do it. So I just want to make people aware of what to look for. Like I said, the theta is going to tell you how much money you're going to lose literally per day in the value of that option. So an example is if you go out tomorrow and buy a Microsoft option, one call option for, let's say, $500, and your theta on that may be, let's say, $5, right? Oh, another point I want to make is kind of the next bullet point, is that all options have an expiration date, right? So when you buy a stock, you can hold a stock into perpetuity. You can hold it, forever till you pass. When you buy options, you're buying a contract that actually has a finite lifetime. So you can buy options as short as 1 day. In other words, you can buy it in the morning and it'll expire by the time the market closes, or you can buy options that go out years. And everything in between. So there's a whole ton of different expirations you can buy for options. But the crazy thing is that most retail investors, like us, individual investors, we buy what's called short-dated options. And what I mean by that is the time to expiration is very short, right? So an example would be if somebody bought a 30-day option, they bought it today and it expires in 30 days versus a 200-day option. Well, that 30-day option is considered a really short date option because it only has 30 days to expiration. So for whatever reason, well, I know the reason, but we're not going to go that road. But individual investors love to buy short dated options, right? And it's crazy. And again, I don't know if a lot of people will explain it to you if you ever looked at options, but it's insane that they do this. And here's why. So remember, theta is going to tell you how much you're going to lose per day, that the value of the option is going to lose per day. And the reason, just real quick, the reason that option loses value is because, again, it's a finite asset. It's what's called a decaying asset. So it literally, by default, it's going to lose a little bit of its value every day. Now, if the underlying stock shoots up, then the amount of money you'll make on the option will fight that decay. But if it doesn't shoot up very quickly, you're going to lose money over time. So the crazy thing is that individual investors like to buy short-dated options. And what's insane about that is the theta number increases the shorter the date to expiration is. So example is if you buy a Microsoft option with 50 days to expiration, right? Your theta may be $5. That means you lose $5 a day. If you buy another Microsoft option with 25 days expiration, your theta on that one could be anywhere from like $10 to $15 per day. So you see, when I went 50 down to 25, I cut my days to expiration in half, and the theta exploded. So the money I was going to lose per day exploded because you're getting closer and closer to expiration. So for again, it's really crazy to me that individual investors like to buy short dated options that have high theta, which means they're losing a lot of money very, very quickly the minute they buy that option, which to me is absolutely insane.
Well, a lot of people a lot of people buying it because they're hoping for the big pop. They're playing it as if it were a lottery ticket. And then also there's a huge population of people that just don't know any better. So, it's that two groups.
Yeah,
I saw a YouTube video, somebody slid across the hood of a Ferrari and said, I did this with options. I make $1,000 a day. Now, this is just me pet peeve. If you hear somebody say they made $1,000 a day or they're making $1,000 a day, it's a high probability they would not be on social media talking about it or trying to get you to sign up for $200. It doesn't even make sense. If you're making $30,000 a month, you're focused on making more money than that. So, even Leon and I, the reason why we do these is because we're already invested in the market. We already have our money working for us. So these are conversations Leon and I will have anyway. So for us, this is just very efficient, and we want as many people to learn as possible. But you still don't see us sliding across the hoods of anything. You don't. It just that gets me. And then go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, most of those people really don't know what they're talking about. Like, it's a gig. It's a gimmick. It's horrible.
It is because I have friends of mine that have actually taken some of these courses, and like when they show me the documentation they got or they show me the video of what they learned, they're not showing them about options. They're showing them how to like they're basically showing them technical analysis when this 30-day moving average does this and does that. This is when you should buy the call. This is when you should buy the put. But they're not telling you about the option itself and how the option actually works relative to the stock price. Their biggest thing is you want to get in and get out very quickly, and which is true because again, if you're buying short dated options, that theta number grows and grows and grows the closer you get to expiration. You definitely need to get in and get out of that option quickly. So yeah, it's just crazy to me. And another pet peeve of mine is you'll see people online say that that they're making all this money in weekly options. Weekly options, right? A week is in the stock market is 5 days, right? And I just said, I just made the point that the closer you are to expiration, the higher that theta number, that the money you're going to lose per day on that option. So if you're buying an option that only has 5 days till expiration, that theta number is going to be like $27, $30, $40 per day that option is going to lose. And if it expires in 5 days, remember that option. If you bought that option for, say, you spend $200 for that option, if that option doesn't go in the money by expiration, that $200 you spend on the option goes to zero in 5 days because that theta is going to eat away at it every single day. So when I hear people online say that, oh, they're making $10,000 in weekly options, it's total BS. Again, some people are. I get it. Some people are. But generally, it's total BS because it doesn't even make sense if you know how options work. The only way they're making that type of money is if they know where a stock is going to go and they're picking every stock they pick is the exact right stock that's going to explode in 5 days. So it's total BS because again, that theta number is going to be so massive for that last 5 days, $30, $40, $50 per day that option is going to be losing that, and again, and think about it, these people are buying, that's on one option. If you're buying like 100 of these options, imagine what you're losing per day. So it's insane. So that's why I like to say, that's why I just want to kind of make the point on what the theta number is, that if you do buy options naked, make sure you know explicitly and deeply what your theta number is, and be aware that every day that goes by, if that option doesn't really move much in your direction, you're losing that number every single day. And like the last point says, theta works against you on weekends and holidays too. So it's not just when the market's open, right? You may think, okay, the market's closed, I'm safe. Like my theta number won't hurt me. No, because all theta means in this world of options is time. So there have been times, I mean, when I used to do this, before I really knew what I was doing, it used to blow me. Like I would, the weekend would come and I would be up, say, I don't know, $200, right? I'm like, whoo, like I'm up $200, things are looking good. Monday morning would come and I would look at my position and I was up 200 on Friday. And now Monday morning comes and I'm only up by 130. So maybe I lost $70 over the weekend. And I never understood why the hell did I lose money over the weekend when the market was closed. It's because of that theta number. That theta number just means time. So weekends, holidays, nighttime, every minute that goes by, that theta number is working against you and eating away at the principal that you invested, or your profits too, if you have a little bit in the option. So yeah, that was the point today. It was really just want to let everybody know, if you're looking at options, if you're going to buy them naked, definitely know what your theta number is. Also, for any IEA members who have not taken a look at the Ask the Expert from last weekend, it's posted on the membership community right now. Definitely look at that, because I went to deep detail. I actually showed some examples, pulled up the Thinkorswim platform, and actually walked through an actual couple of trades to show how it works. So definitely take a look at that if you have the time.
Yep. And so for everybody who's on here thinking, well, I know my cousin made a lot of money in options last week. How long and how sustainable is that income? And so when, again, you're looking at it, it's not that somebody might not win one time, two times, three times, but in the long run, you end up giving the house back your money, because as your positions get bigger, or you think you figured it out, it's also directions that the market will travel in that you're fine, like you get it. But when the market changes, all of a sudden that strategy is complete trash, and you're trying to figure out, well, what should I do? And a lot of people, like a fire, they'll throw more money at it hoping that it works. And so just understand, when you get into the world of options, you really should know exactly what you're doing, and you should know what you're not doing and why. So, again, sometimes people know the thing they do and that's all they know, but they don't know why they aren't doing 20 other things which directly correlate to what they're doing. So they're winning by a hair for that moment, if they are. And a lot of people stop throwing your money into this pit hoping eventually it works. If you realize that you've been doing it for a while and it's just not working, but you don't have anything else to hang your hopes on, so you're just hoping that it works and you keep throwing money at it, stop. Join.
Yep. Good points. And another thing I want to say is that when you buy short-dated options, like most retail investors do, you need to buy really volatile stocks, right? Because you need that stock to move quickly to kind of combat that theta, right? Well, problem with that is when you buy volatile stocks, they're volatile up and they're volatile down. And if you buy very volatile stocks and the stock drops, again, goes against you, I showed in detail on the Ask the Expert over the weekend. I showed in detail why it's damn near. I mean, nothing's impossible, but it's really hard if you get a 5-10% drop in the stock, and then the stock just kind of goes sideways, or maybe just kind of starts creeping back up slowly and takes a while to get back up. It is a hell of a way to lose money, because you lose it fast, you lose it quick, and then it's really hard to dig out of that hole. And again, I go into why that is over the weekend on the Ask the Expert. So again, anybody who's an IA member, if you're interested in options, definitely watch that video. But again, if you're going to buy naked options, you need to buy volatile stocks. But know that if you do buy volatile stocks, they can go down as well. If you're buying calls, if they go down against you, it's really hard to dig out of a hole once the option is going to get you, especially if it drops and just kind of teeters sideways or just slowly creeps back up. It's a slow death. It's painful. I've been there. I mean, I've lost a lot of money in options. Let me tell you, that's why I know all these. I know what they call the Greeks now intimately, because I got burned a lot.
But you've made a lot too. So
yes.
Let's balance that out.
Yes, I made a lot because I learned from my mistakes when I lost quite a bit of money, and I've used that now to make a lot of money as well. So just learn from my mistakes. That's what we're saying.
Yep. So if you have any questions, feel free to post it. Let's take a look. Yep. So it doesn't look like there are any more questions. If you want to see our stock picks from today, you can go over to our Facebook group. And if you're an IA member, you will see 2 stock picks from today by logging into the platform, and you'll see our 2 stock picks for today. And Now we've kind of been switching up where it's a stock and a crypto, or 2 stocks or 2 cryptos. So our investment pick, that's probably a better way to say it now. Our investment pick for the week. So again, you can go to our Facebook group, or you can, if you're a member, log into the platform, you will see them there. If you want to see the full training session that Leon did in the Ask an Expert from this Saturday, you can go into the membership platform, go to the topic named Ask an Expert. It'll be listed there. So for everybody, again, thank you for spending this time with us. We hope the information we're providing for you provides a different financial future for you and your family. And that's about it. Leon, you got anything before we go?
Nah, that was it. Just yeah. If you want our Facebook group, just on Facebook, search Investing Education Academy, and the membership community is www.ieamembers.com, and that's where the Ask an Expert, where I did the options trading, is right now.
Yep. Everybody, thank you so much. We'll see you next Wednesday at 9 o'clock.